It's all kicking off right now in crypto. We obviously just hit an all-time high in Ethereum on Sunday. 2 days earlier, we hit another all-time high. And now we believe the Fed is going to cut rates in September. There's currently an 85% chance they're going to cut rates. And some I've even heard are calling for a 50 basis point cut or a half a percentage point. That would be massive for everything here in crypto. And we're expecting big things to happen over the next 3 months. Price movement we haven't seen in 4 years. Maybe we've never seen before, ever. So it's a pretty exciting time to be crypto as long as you're invested. If you're just watching this like a sports game, I guess you'll get something out of it, but it's more fun when you're on the field, getting the accolades, getting the awards, and making a lot of money. So tonight, I want to show you something that we're concerned about, which is this $37 trillion issue, Fed rate cuts. I want to talk about what Trump is doing, and I want to show you how we're making money behind the scenes, millions and tens of millions of dollars, by investing in pre-sale tokens on deals. All right, we've done a lot of these deals, over 100, invested over $22 million, and we're going to show you exactly what's going on. I've actually got 2 of the deals that we're working on right now that I'm going to show you as well as a little bit of a sneak preview. And Martini, I should have another one, hopefully by the end of the week. So it's very busy here. We had a great call last night for the investment club. We had a bunch of people on there and a great CEO presenting, and we're going to have another one live on Thursday if you ever want to come see our Shark Tank action behind the scenes. So there you go. Last chance to turn cameras on. It's a requirement. So Eduardo and Darren, show us your pretty faces or Martini's going to chuck you. And I think we're just going to jump into this. Eduardo, nice to see you. And let's kick this thing off. This thing is hot off the presses. Raise your hands if you can see these 2 good-looking guys who have a lot of crypto. Yeah, what can we say? There we go, right? And there we go. Trump and his family have gone all into crypto. Now, he was 4 years later than we did, but they finally got their act together, which is good. And we welcome them to the space. I saw Eric Trump speak in Toronto at the Consensus Conference, and they're doing not only World Liberty Financial, but Eric Trump is doing Bitcoin mining. He's doing so many things, and it's just incredible to see. I believe the Trump family now makes more money in crypto than they do in real estate. Isn't that crazy? And they're all in because they've been debanked before. Has anyone here ever been debanked? Raise your hand where you've actually had your banking services taken away from you. I had mine back in 2020. We had our PayPal just removed from us because I don't know, apparently they didn't like some of the things we were saying. And so you got to be really careful out there. And it's great to see that the Trump family and a lot of other people are trying to bank the unbanked. And I think, we've all had a point, or there's people all around the world, I think 1 billion people that can't get access to the banking system when they think that's wrong. And that's one of the reasons we love crypto. Folks, I want to jump into this because there's a $37 trillion Fed crash, and it's causing a lot of volatility in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto. Sunday night, we hit an all-time high on Ethereum. We almost hit $5,000. And then literally minutes later, Bitcoin crashed. It went from 116,000 down to 112. Then later it touched 110, 108, and now it's back. And it was pretty crazy to watch. Now, the craziest thing, in my opinion, was that ETH went up and Bitcoin went down. This has not happened in 3 years, and I've been watching these markets every single day. For 3 years, Bitcoin has been the big daddy. It leads the moves up. It leads the moves down. When it goes up more than everything else. And when it goes down less than everything else, right? And I know a lot of Bitcoin maxis. I know a lot of people with $1 billion of Bitcoin, and they just puff their chests out and they walk around. They're like, why didn't you listen to me? There's only one crypto. Look at me. Look at me. But now they're all chirping. Right now, they're all whining because they see for the first time in 3 years that their precious asset, the original, is now not performing as well as Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin has not really gone up in price now in 3 months, whereas Ethereum is up massively, right? Massively. I think it's up 75% since the beginning of the year. And so now we're seeing a real shift in risk assets from Bitcoin to Ethereum. It's now moving into Solana, and we know it's going to move down into the smaller assets. And that's where we make all of our money behind the scenes. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Today, I want to talk about what's going on with monetary policy, the Fed, Powell. A lot of exciting stuff right now. Trump is actually trying to fire one of the Fed governors because she lied on her mortgage application, apparently. Although there's copies of it, and she said she's had 2 residences and you're not supposed to. So I don't know how it's a mistake. But also, the president is not supposed to mess with the independent Fed. So nobody knows what's going on. Trump actually said she's fired, but then everyone's like, are you allowed to fire her? And then it's like, well, who can fire her and who can actually like stop paying her and who can take her security access from the front door and who can turn off her email, and nobody knows. And she's fighting back saying, make my day. So it's going to be another interesting day, never a boring day in the Trump administration. And so we're going to see what happens, but it's more and more pressure that he's putting on that entity. And we're going to see how that changes things long run. For us, we just want our crypto to go up at this point, and it's going up. It's just a matter of how much and when at this point. Folks, before we get started, I just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only, not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you a free gift, which is module 1 of our premium program, our super premium program called the Investment Club. And it's going to show you how startups raise money on the blockchain. Don't let this intimidate you. It's a 19-page PDF document. And what I'm going to do for those of you that joined us at londonreal.tv/Zoom, of course, anyone's welcome to join us, is I'm going to send you this through the powers of Zoom. So can everybody check your Zoom chat right now and see if you can find this file? So take a look at it. Wait for it. Wait for it. I'm about to send you module 1. If you get it, will you reply back yes? Don't give me a thumbs up. Just reply back yes and see if you can actually work the chat. I think you might have to click my picture to actually respond to me, but see if you can actually do it. 3, 2, 1, boom. You should have that PDF file. If you reply yes, you get a star. Sandeep replied yes, I think before he got it, which makes him just more of a gangster. And so I appreciate that, Sandeep. But did you get it as well? Uh-oh, now you did the thumb up, which I asked you not to do. All right, that's good. Did you get it, Elsa? Did you get it, Darren? Did you get it, David? Just let me know, Bally, and a few other people in the room. Let me know if you got that. So watch that, read that in your spare time. If you can give me your attention for the next few minutes, I want to walk you through some really exciting stuff. I'm going to show you some videos you've never seen before, and I'm going to show you how there still is a way for you to make a lot of money here in this crypto cycle. You don't have to wait to the next one, and it's actually not too late, which surprises a lot of people. I also want to give you this free video, which is how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. And I'm going to give you a link to this video at the end of the presentation. So just hang in there and I'll give it to you. It's going to show you how we use these things called SAFT agreements to make a boatload of money behind the scenes. Folks, it's called pre-sale tokens. And this is the way we're making millions, tens of millions, and by the end of the year, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a practice of secretly buying tokens from a CEO before they are offered to the public markets. Has anyone here heard of an IPO? Sandeep, you know what an IPO is, I'm sure. Darren, David, you know. It's when a company, for the very first time, issues shares to the public, an initial public offering. And you always see these things double and triple when they do it. One of the companies that we had a part of called Circle was up 10x a few months ago when it actually IPO'd on the New York Stock Exchange. And the same thing happens with tokens. The first time they're offered, very often they're going to go up because all of a sudden you have millions of buyers where before you had none. And we buy them before the token gets issued. Oh, sometimes a week before, sometimes a month before, sometimes a year before. And then when they go public, oftentimes there's big gains, and I'll show you some of those examples shortly. How many people have heard of this coin called Solana? Anybody heard of that before? David, Sandeep, Darren, you know, of course, Darren's in our Crypto DeFi Academy. Well, did you know you could have bought this thing as a pre-sale token? It's crazy. I think most of the big names in crypto probably don't even know this. But you could have bought this, which now trades at about $200 right now. You could have bought it for 4 pennies each. Now, I'll do the math for you, Bally and Elsa. That means $1,000 invested at the pre-sale would be worth $5 million today. Think about that. $1,000 turns into $5 million. Now, I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. I went to London, went to Tokyo. I traded stocks, bonds, commodities. I've never, ever seen an instrument in finance that can multiply your money like that. On top of that, I've never seen an instrument that anyone in the world can buy because, let's be honest, a lot of the wealth on Wall Street is restricted to wealthy people, right? Raise your hands if you know what I'm talking about, right? It's called an accredited investor. It means, psst, are you part of the club? Okay, you come over here. We're going to make some money. And if you're not, sorry, nothing for you here. So the poor stay poor and the rich get rich. With this, it's the democratization of finance. And that's one of the reasons we love this. Now, $5 million, you know, it's not a bad start. Who here can use an extra $5 million right about now? Anybody? David's in, Darren's in, Elsa's in, Sandeep's like, no, Brian, more money, more problems, right? We'll keep it simple with you. Keep it lean. But look, $5 million is real money. All right. Now, some of you, Elsa looks like she likes her Bugattis. She might put one of those in the driveway. Maybe David's going to upgrade that boat maybe to a yacht. I don't know. But look, $5 million can buy you some freedom. And that's what I think this is about, just giving you some freedom to make better choices and more of your free choices in your life. And that's really why we do this here inside London Real. Folks, this is a deal we did very recently, and this is literally a legal document snapshot here. Can everyone see that blue circle here? Can everyone see that? It's right in the middle. That's the amount we invested. It's $200,000. Can everyone see the red circle right below that? That's the price per token. And that's 1.25 pennies per token. So we actually bought these cheaper than those Solana tokens. And what happened? Well, in about 4 hours, we made $4 million for my group of investors. And that thing was up 20x on the day. The token was called Skillful AI. And this is their CEO named Zoltan, who I met at a conference, and then we invested in his company. And then he came to London Real for his episode of London Real, because if you get an investment from us, you get your own show, which means millions and millions of people get your message, which is really what the CEOs want. Now, after the show, he said, Brian, hold on to these tokens. It's going to 100x. You're going to be worth $20 million on this investment. I said, deal. And then he said something weird. He said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. I want in on these deals. They're hot. And I said, wait a second, Zoltan. You're one of the biggest names in crypto. I see you on stage at all these conferences. Surely you have access to these deals. He said, no, you have a media company with 1 billion views. He said, you get the best deals I've ever seen. You get the cheapest tokens, and you get the tokens faster than anyone I know. Some people wait 3 years for the tokens, and you get them in 3 months. I want in. And I never expected this, I'll be honest. And so I looked at him and I said, well, there's only one way into the investment club, and it goes through Martini, this fabulous woman right here, okay? And she makes the decisions. She vets you to make sure you're congruent with our community, and she doesn't do discounts, no matter how many pictures you show her of me and you, okay? And so here's her number. Good luck. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, he joined. And now he's done 13 deals with us. He's on the live calls. And now it just goes to show you, you not only have London Realers and London Real family members around the world in this club, we got 150 members, but you've now got CEOs of some of the biggest blockchains out there. Honestly, folks, it's probably the greatest testimonial I could give you to show you how amazing this club is when one of the founders themselves wants to join. That's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool, actually. And he also gives us amazing information. Folks, this is Shrapnel. It's actually a game on the blockchain. So a lot like this Grand Theft Auto game or Call of Duty, but it's on the blockchain itself. And on this deal, we did a 20x in 20 days and made my group a $5 million profit. This deal is called the Mochaverse. It's a digital ID system from a huge gaming conglomerate called Animoca Brands. The chairman here is Yatsu, who I believe is the next Elon Musk. He's a visionary in this space. He's become a good friend. He's been on London Real 7 or 8 times. And we've actually done about 7 or 8 deals with him and his company. This was up 20x, folks. And, just to give you an idea, if you would put $10,000 in this deal, that one deal would be worth 200 grand. So there's real money to be made here. Of course, this is one of our other deals called Story Protocol. This one was up 22x. And again, we invested alongside one of the biggest venture capital companies in the world called Andreessen Horowitz. This was a really, really big deal. And this was one of the meme coins we invested in called Cats. And I still remember one of our members, Christina, put in $30,000 with her mom. And boom, on the launch day, it was up 14x. She made a $420,000 profit. Now, who here would like to wake up on a Wednesday morning and see 420 grand in your wallet? All right, Darren's in as well. Again, Sandeep's like, Brian, you got to talk to me about something more important than money. But not bad for a Wednesday morning. It's not enough for her to retire on, but it's enough to start making those moves where you can have really some ultimate freedom. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund that we invested in. This is Dan Tapiero, the founder and trader in that fund. I've been calling him the greatest trader in the world for the last few years. And in the last few months, he's proven it. It looks like by the end of the year, he's going to be the highest performing fund in the world, not in crypto, in the world, because he's getting massive returns on the investments that he made in a lot of these crypto companies like Circle and Kraken and eToro and Gemini that are all going public. And Dan picked them all and bought them for pennies on the dollar. And so he's already 4x'd our money on a big fund that was only supposed to make 20%. And I was on this recording of a call he did last week, Martini, and it was crazy. He's just like, we're probably going to be the best performing fund in the world. And It's just amazing. And we're going to probably put another $1 million into his next fund. Folks, what I want to show you now is our latest deals, because you're probably wondering, well, how do these work, Brian? And how do we get access to the deals? If you join us on a Monday or Thursday night at around 7 p.m., then you're going to get to see our version of Shark Tank in America. Does anyone know that show, Shark Tank, with that guy, Kevin Leary, who needs a new suit, and that the guy, Mark Cuban, who needs a lot of new things? Yeah, they're getting a little old. It's getting a little tired. So we decided we would revamp it in crypto. We dress better. We talk better. We got better deals. It's more fun. And we allow you access to the deals, right? Usually those sharks make all the money. And so what we do on a Monday or Thursday is the deals come and they pitch us, and then we go ahead and pull the trigger. And so I want to show you a couple of deals that we're working on. You can also see the call format. If you want to join us on Thursday for our deal, then come and talk to Martini, and you can actually come and watch this thing happen in the background. I'm going to first share with you one of the cool deals we're doing, which is actually doing a show about crypto pitching. It's called Crypto Nights. I think some of the members on this call are already invested in this deal. David, I think you might be in this deal, and a few others here. We love this deal because it's a media play, but also a crypto play. And this is Crypto Nights.
It looks like a very good project.
Production value is really high.
We've never seen anything like it.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
Crypto Nights is not just a TV show, it is a complete ecosystem. Some people call it the Shark Tank for crypto. Projects from across the globe come and pitch to a very elite set of investors. We're an Emmy Award nominated production team. I've been in the entertainment business for about 20 years. We started generating revenue even before we started filming season 1. We generated $4.9 million worth of token revenue. In season 2, we are anticipating $6 million. Plus, our goal is really to make this a global brand, and we want to lead the space with Crypto Nights.
VC funding for crypto projects is not as robust as it was last year. Is that a challenge for you right now?
From our point of view, that's not a big challenge. Projects need us more now than ever before because we give them access to that capital. Folks like Blue Whale, I think they raised like over $1 million in that one session. So that's where we make that massive difference.
So if I own some Knight tokens, I'm owning a small piece of every company that's coming on your program in the future.
That's true, every single company. By simply buying the Crypto Nights token, you could end up owning 100 different tokens.
2 thumbs up if you like this play. Arno's up, Jose 2 up, Christopher is in, Tracy's in, Federica's in, Oliver's in, Trevor's in, Camille's in, KN's in. Dr. Encore, your thoughts?
They've got the media distribution to actually help these projects do well and get the word out.
It has an excellent format. Seems to be very experienced in the media. He understands the crypto market, the crypto environment.
So this is an unusual project. It really is diversifying our portfolio. They already have a proven track record of being profitable in season 1.
I love the idea that it's not only investing in the production company, but also potential to invest in the other projects. I'm really excited about this one.
All right, we like this deal. It's pretty exciting, right? You can actually go to Amazon Prime right now and watch it. It's been watched like 30 million times. 4 of our portfolio companies actually pitched and got funded, and they're going to do the next season in a month, I think. This is a great deal because not only do we get tokens in an up-and-coming media company for crypto, we also get tokens in all the companies that go on the show. And these companies get media exposure and they get money from the Knights. So you're buying companies right at the top of their trajectory where they have funding and media, and boom, it's almost like you get to invest in the best of the best. And so this thing's almost closed. I think we got about 25K left in this deal, but that's Crypto Nights. I think a bunch of people on this call are actually invested in that from our Crypto and DeFi Academy and our investment club. I want to show you one more here, and that is our latest deal, which is done by an MIT Sloan School professor where I went to school. And he has a special patent on what they call A-to-A protocols, which is an AI agent to agent. Now, look, a lot of us are paranoid about AI, but look, it's the future. And the future isn't just you having one AI, Eliza, and nice to see you here, by the way, but it's actually you having multiple AIs that work for you in a team. And then you need them talking to each other in an intelligent manner to where they can really scale up and make you act like 10 people in your business or whatever you want to do in your personal life. We love this company. And let me be honest, we looked at a lot of companies and we say no to 90% of our deals. This is the one that looked good. It's called Synergetics, and you can check it out.
I think it's really incredible.
Great presentation. The guy definitely knew what he was talking about.
This is their multi-billion-dollar unicorn legacy play.
I have a track record of actually delivering on startups. That's just me. This is me in the Agentic AI working group at MIT. We got written up in Forbes and MSN organically. And then we were also highlighted by NVIDIA at the Microsoft conference. And we have partnerships with Google, Plug and Play, Guidewire, and so on. So we are sort of like the creme de la creme of the people on this decentralized AI. We are a company that's powering the agent economy, avatars, chatbots, voice agents, and embedded systems. So the market for this is roughly $70 billion, and we believe that we can take a market share of about $7 billion out of this. We have actually deployed agents in the field. We are currently generating revenues. This year we plan to crack low 7 digits.
Show me some thumbs here, please, everybody on the call. So Camille likes it, Christopher Molson likes it, Petia likes it, Daniel Walker likes it. We got Jacqueline Capsted with 2 thumbs up, 2 up from Paul, 2 up from Henry Shiner.
I think this can be a real success. I do see the differentiators with the many other agentic plays it seems.
He really knows his stuff, his experience. I think it's really incredible.
I'm actually working for a financial institution, and we're currently implementing a lot of the AI agents that he's talking about.
You don't teach at MIT Sloan unless you're somebody that's up there. And he's had successful exits for large amounts of money.
We're investing in an expert in his field, and he is at the top of his level.
Oh yeah, we like that. Pretty cool. It's really got high-level people building a great product, already talking to some of the biggest businesses in Web 2. What we love about this is it's not just a crypto business, it's a business for companies all around the world. And again, that thing's filling up super fast as well. So that's what we're dealing with behind the scenes. We got a couple other really hot deals coming in, and we want to invest in those before the whole market goes parabolic and goes crazy. There's still time left is what I'm trying to tell you, but you got to take action really fast. I mean, we're literally down to days and weeks before the top of the market could be in. So just make sure you're invested and you're ready for that is what I would say. Folks, a lot of people ask us, how does London Real? Just make sure this is all coming up here. Hold on a second. Stay with me here. Booyah. Okay, wait. Is that coming in? I'm getting my screen shares wrong. Stay with me here. Let me sure I got this right. All right, hold on 1 second. Make sure this thing is ready to go. But look, a lot of people are asking us lately how we're able to really do so many of these amazing deals. And, you know, after you do a 10X and a 12X and a 22X, you know, people start saying, well, what's the deal? Are you just getting lucky, or is it really going to happen? And so, you know, a lot of people asked us, how has London Real picked so many winners? And we thought about it carefully, and we came back and realized that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And we've been doing this now for coming up on 4.5 years, which in crypto world is like 40 years, because this market moves so fast and most people just don't last. That's just the case. And we were here. We were here in the hard times, right? 22 was a tough year for crypto. We watched Bitcoin go from 60,000 down to 16,000. Everyone said it was over. Everyone said it was a scam. Everyone said it was started by the CIA, blah, blah, blah. We kept going. We kept investing. We kept teaching. We kept building our network and building our reputation as someone who continues to invest in this community and take things to the next level. And now on the back end of it, everybody knows us. We've done over 100 Web3 deals, invested over $22 million, which is a massive amount in this space. And now people are coming to us. And that's the way that we can provide these amazing deals to you. This isn't a freak accident. And that's why nobody else in the world can do this as well, because they haven't put in the time. They don't have the media channel. They don't have the track record. So you're actually joining us, if you decide to join us, at the perfect time, because we're the strongest we've ever been, and we're only going to get stronger. Folks, a lot of you have felt like Drake on the top. You've tried to invest in crypto on your own, and you've had a bad experience. Now, raise your hand here if you've lost money in crypto. It's okay. You can tell us. Thank you, Els, David, Darren, Sandeep. Okay, keep your hands down if you're lying to me. Shame on the rest of you. Okay, that's all right. Look, we've all lost money in crypto. It's a jungle out there, right, Sandeep? You know, you start in this game and you go on, you don't know who to trust. You hear some, you know, somebody whisper something, you know, at a restaurant. You go onto Twitter, God forbid, and you take the advice of somebody with a fake picture, with a fake name and a fake coin, and pretty much, boom, it's down 50%. And you're like, you know, to heck with this market. I'm tired of this. And a lot of people leave after a bad experience, and that's a shame, because crypto is more than just about making money. It's more than tokens going up and down. It's really a shift in human paradigm. It's the internet of ownership. And that's what people really need to understand. This isn't going away. We saw this 4 years ago. We saw this 6, 8 years ago when we were talking about crypto, and we're some of the biggest, earliest adopters here, and we're going to keep going. And so there's another way. There's Drake on the bottom with that big smile on his face, because I mean, I don't know if we can talk about this, Martini, but we have people like Drake that are inside our club. He doesn't want us to use his name, of course, but I mean, there's people like that smiling in there because they've realized that this is the way to make money. Invest alongside us and London Real. And it's called the Investment Club. Folks, this is the greatest product we've ever created in our 14-year history. This one has made the most money, has changed the world the most, and funded the most companies than we've ever done anything in our life. If you've ever struggled with money in your life, this is the solution to your problems. Now, I don't know about you, but I struggled with money for much of my life. Until I was 30, I had American Express, had a hitman looking for me. And I had to keep my head down whenever I went out in the public, right? Because I couldn't get out of debt and I couldn't figure money out. Because let's be honest, and you probably know this, Elsa, and you know this, Elisa, at schools, they never taught us about money, right? Does everyone agree with that? In fact, schools teach us to be poor. Raise your hand if you agree with that, right? Save your money. Is that a good idea? No. If you save your money, it becomes worthless, right? All the things they teach you, trust your bankers, bad idea. Your government's going to take care of you when you're old, right, Elsa? Yeah, how's that Social Security check looking, right? That $100 a week, how's that looking, right? Your government, your corporation's going to take care of you when you get older. Yeah, how's that pension fund looking? Not so good. There's only one way, and that's you have to break out of this matrix that you were brought up in. And the only way is to invest in digital assets. It's the only way. I've looked at all the ways. I've worked in all the businesses. This is the way. And we've now cracked the code on how you can consistently make money. If this is of interest to you, make sure you book a call with Martini. I'll talk more about this at the end of the call, but I just want to make sure that if you just started here with us, we have you covered. We have a solution to your problems. And like I said, 150 London Realers have joined us for this, what is actually a lifetime experience, making money with us for the next 10, 20 years. Here's a bunch of ways you can book a call with Martini. Definitely take the time and have a word with her. She can also get you on our next Investment Club call on Thursday or Monday, and you can really just take a look for yourself. I think you'll really enjoy it. Folks, we have our Crypto and DeFi Academy starting on Monday. You can join the extremely good-looking Sandeep here as well on that course, and he's in on that. Also, right now in the course, you got David and Darren, who are just finishing up the course. David and Darren, has this course been good for you so far? I know it's hard, but it's been good, right? All right, there we go. Thumbs up. No, it's a great course. It's 4 weeks. It'll take you from zero to hero in all things crypto and Bitcoin. I'm there personally to help you. And we've discounted it now 60% down to $999. And it's really a steal. We've graduated thousands of people here, taught this for over 4 years. And it's 4 weeks, 4 modules. It's invitation only. And it's 8 hours of live calls with me, the real me. You get access to our online e-learning platform with all my videos and workbooks. You get my triple tiered accountability system. You have to do the work or I really get after you. You got dedicated coaches, team leaders, community managers, and you got a private group for posting assignments. We've been teaching now online for about 8, 9 years now. We're really good at it. And we'll finally get you up the curve in something you've probably been putting off for many, many months or many years. We start with module 1. We go into the history of crypto. You're going to read the Bitcoin white paper, learn about the creation of Ethereum, stablecoins, DeFi summer of 2020 and beyond. Then we're going to go in and take action. You're going to get your hot wallet set up, your cold wallet, your centralized exchanges. You're going to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you're going to do your first decentralized trade in your second week. No doubt. That's a huge, huge thing. Module 3, we go deeper into DeFi. You're going to do yield on your crypto. You're going to do liquidity pools, options. And module 4, we're going to show you how to manage your portfolio and make a lot of money. It's a great course. And literally it starts very, very soon in a few days. And it's incredible. And you're going to really want to do it. You're actually pre-approved on this live call to join this right now at londonreal.tv/buy. I'm telling you, don't sleep on this. You want to do this now, not a year from now or 2 years from now or 3 years from now. The sooner you get in, the more money you'll make. That's what they say. Have you ever heard this expression, David or Darren? Everybody gets to buy Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Sandeep, you ever heard of that? Elisa, you ever heard of that? Raise your hand if you know what that means, right? Now, I bought my first Bitcoin at $100. Maybe you're going to buy your first Bitcoin at $110,000, right? It's the price you deserve because you were early enough to take action. Now, back in 2013, Bitcoin was another topic on a crazy London Real schedule. And I happened to push myself to learn to get it at the right price. My question for you is, are you going to buy Bitcoin at $1 million or $10 million each? Because that's the price you deserve, because we reward those that go in early. And so there you go. You're pre-approved to buy right now, LondonReal.tv/buy. Definitely jump in on this course. It's going to be amazing. And folks, here's my 8-step trading checklist, something I share with the course during the course, but you can take a snapshot now. If you use this, you're going to save a lot of money trading over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Go through every single one of these before you make a trade, and you can send me, 100K later after I've saved you a lot of money. Folks, this is the big news. There's a global crisis, or what we're calling a $37 trillion Fed dollar crash. And these fears are fueling this huge Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and more price predictions and volatility, right? Everyone is concerned about the national debt. We're all concerned about what Chairman Powell is going to do at the next Fed meeting at the end of September. If he lowers rates, we could see a massive amount of money pumped into crypto. But at the same time, Elsa, that means your money in your savings account is going to start being worth zero because they're printing more money. And so not only if you don't invest in digital assets, that won't go up, but if you don't invest in digital assets, your dollars and your pounds and your euros, wherever you live, are going to become slowly and slowly more worthless. Does everyone here understand this crisis situation, right? So it's like, if you don't make this decision, it's not like you can say, Brian, I'm going to sit this one out on the sidelines. You can't, because you're already part of the fiat monetary system. If you don't take action, that is making a choice. And I always say playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do, because when you play it safe, when you take a break, what you're doing is you're making decisions not to take action, and you're going to be left behind. And of course, this is what we're hearing. The Federal Reserve meeting where Fed Chair Jerome Powell has now opened the door to cutting rates in September. And I listened to his whole speech last Friday. Honestly, at first I couldn't tell if it was bullish, because these guys speak in crazy Fed double talk, right? It's like 2 adjectives he used in a sentence in minute 41. The market was like, oh, he's going to cut rates, but he's really subtle about it. He's like, we've now decided to focus our attention on employment more than the inflation environment. And he's basically saying, okay, now they're looking at employment and there's not a lot of jobs being created. And that means they're probably going to have to spur the economy, and they're going to worry less about inflation, which could go up if they actually lower rates. But it looks like this is going to happen. Let me say, though, and warn all of you, we have a very important employment number coming up next Friday. The jobs report that comes out on the first Friday of every month. When I worked on Wall Street, that was the one number we lived for as these bond traders. And if that number comes in hot, he might change his mind. But if it comes in with low jobs and we're expecting some massive downward revisions, I think we're expecting 500,000 jobs to be actually shown to not have been created since March of 2025 that have already been reported, then we're going to get that Fed cut and everything's going to be crazy. And of course, recently, Trump has announced that his own family crypto firm of World Liberty Financial has now gone ahead and used a public company shell called Alt5 Sigma to buy 1.5 billion tokens of that World Liberty Financial. And so everyone's getting involved in this kind of treasury company narrative. People are now calling for the Bitcoin price to hit 150,000, which isn't that far away at this point. It's like another 20%, 15% from the highs. And people are now calling for a $10,000 Ethereum. That would be crazy. Or would it? People call Bitcoin digital gold. People call Ethereum digital gas or digital oil. Why? Because everything needs oil and gas, right? The whole world runs on energy. And we believe the whole world is going to run on Ethereum, from your stable coins to your banking rails to your payment systems. And that's one of the reasons Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. And of course, Standard Chartered Bank is calling for a $500,000 Bitcoin. That could happen this cycle. We just don't know. And if it does, it's going to be some really crazy times. Now we're hearing that a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake is heading straight for Cardano, Dogecoin, Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Are you ready? Are you invested? Probably not enough. So I recommend you hurry up and get invested in this market. Now, look, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London. And when I did, I actually ran on a pro-freedom of speech, pro-crypto platform, because these are very important to me before they were popular. This was last year. And I wanted all the voting to be on the blockchain. I wanted the budget of London to be on the blockchain. But the current mayor didn't like those because it would be too transparent. I also asked for the creation of the London coin. I was going to put 100 pounds of crypto in the wallet of every man, woman, and child in my city. But they rejected that too, Sandeep. So I'm just going to make all of you rich instead. Does that sound good? Elisa, you in? Elsa, you in? All right, might as well. I'm going to show those Londoners, right? And just make you all rich instead. And so that's what I'm doing in Dubai. Here, I'm 6 months of the year in basically the city that it's the biggest in the world for crypto. And here I am with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, a local Emirati who's become a good friend. He runs the Dubai Blockchain Center. He's super plugged into crypto. This is a crypto influencer. Her name is Uni Wong, and she is big in meme coins. And one tweet from her can really move the markets. This is Carl Moon. And, he was working in a grocery store in Sweden 3 or 4 years ago, and now he's a crypto billionaire. So when I hear excuses from people like you that, it's too late and I don't have enough time and I don't have enough money, I'm always like laughing because, this guy was working in a grocery store and now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. This is Chris Crypto. He was driving a taxi in Germany a few years ago and now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. What is your excuse? That's what I want to know. Because anyone can do this. It just takes action and going into your fears. That's all it requires. Folks, right now we're investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. Why do I say that? Because we know everything that's going on right now. We know what blockchain is hot. We know when tokens are getting issued. We know the narratives of the exchanges, of the big layer ones. We know everything. We're getting some of the best information out there, and it happens every Monday and every Thursday. And so if you want to know where to invest, this is the place to be. And it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. This has never been done before. Never. No one's ever taken a media company with 1 billion views, 14-year history, 5 million followers worldwide, and combined it with a venture capital company with $25 million in assets. You put these two together and magic happens. And magic looks like this. This is our portfolio of investments. This is the best of the best, the creme de la creme of Web3. What you see here is decentralized finance protocols. You see artificial intelligence on the blockchain. You see gaming, Bitcoin ecosystem, billion-dollar funds. Each one of these entities can go to $5 billion, making each one of my members filthy rich. And that is my singular goal for the next 10 years. And right now, we just passed a major milestone. We've now invested over $22 million into over 100 different blockchain and AI deals. We are bigger than most funds in the crypto space. And we started off as a humble, media channel. And now we've morphed into something else and we're just getting warmed up. And one of the reasons we win is we invest alongside the biggest names in the space. These are billion-dollar, $10 billion funds you see here that you probably heard about, like Coinbase Ventures, Galaxy Digital, ARK Invest, Andreessen Horowitz, even Warner Brothers Music we invest alongside. And recently we were voted the best venture capital KOL of the year. KOL stands for Key Opinion Leader. And I was really proud to accept this award in Singapore on the behalf of all the members of our investment club. Now, a lot of you know I got given the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Global Family Office Summit just a few months ago in Dubai. That was a real honor. And we're becoming really well known in the crypto community for our investments, for our media, and also for not backing down from a fight. And so when Crypto Fight Night called me up a few weeks ago and said, Brian, this punk kid, he's talking about you. I had to lace up my gloves and teach this young man some manners, right, Elsa? What's wrong with these kids these days? Elisa? And so I had to get in there and glove up. And apparently now he wants a rematch. He wants some more. So October 1st, Singapore, it's happening. Get your tickets now. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. How many people want to live their life that way? How many people want to just change the world and make it the way you want it? Come on, Elsa. You with me, Elisa? I need people, hands up here. If your hands aren't up, get out of my Zoom chat. I don't need your negative vibes, right? We change the world around us. That's what we do at London Realers, right? We don't accept the status quo. We don't take what they give us. We're going to go create it. And that's what we're doing here on the inside. And it all comes down to our value system there. This is our mission that's on our wall here in our London studio. We're here to create a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. We're different than everybody else, right? We're not like your mainstream media and your big tech and your big pharma. We're not trying to make zombies out of people. We're trying to get people to cooperate, to feel empowered, and to feel conscious. And that's one of the reasons we attract these great investments. But of course, for me, you all know that it's not just business, it's personal, because I got these two fellows to look out for. And let's be honest, folks, it's a crazy world out there. And I worry about their future. Has anyone here got people that are looking out for you, looking up to you in their lives? Maybe kids and family members. Pretty soon your parents are going to need you. They're not getting any younger, right? I take this very seriously, and I know that 10 years from now, Caden and Damon, my two boys here, Cade's on the right, just turned 9, and Damon just turned 8. And I sent him a message the other day. I said, "You're 8, you're 8." He said, "No, Dad, I'm 8 in one day." I still remember when he turned 6 and we didn't have a birthday party for him. And he said, "No, I'm not 6. I'm still 5 until I get my birthday party." We were like, okay. So anyways, I could go on, but I worry about their future, right? And 10 years from now, they're going to come to me and said, "Papa, where's our Bitcoin? Papa, how come these robots run by AI are ruining our lives? Well, why didn't you do something about it, Papa? Why are my banks telling me what I can and cannot buy? Why are our governments printing so much money that everything I have is worthless?" And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to give them sorry excuses. Like back in 24, I was too busy, or I didn't have the money to invest in your future. This is nonsense, folks. And it is. But it takes bold action now if you want to take care of your people in the future. And this always drives me crazy, Martini. I mean, I meet people that are like, "Oh, I don't have time. I can't afford it." And it's like, really? Do you really understand what's at stake here? This is your family's future, which could go to zero. Do you want them getting in the back of the line for universal basic income alongside 96% of the population? Anybody want to wait in the back of that line? That's not going to be a nice thing, right? And guess what? If they don't like that post you put on social media, if they don't like that little conversation they heard you having, all of a sudden, something doesn't work right. No check for you. So I'm not going to live my life that way, which means I have to take risk today. And this is something I think about, Elisa. Every day I wake up and ask myself, what scares me? I got to go do that today, because I know no one's going to hand me this. And this is the truth, folks. No one's going to give this to you. Your government's not going to take care of you. Your corporation's not going to take care of you. Nobody is. You have to go get it. And this is really, really, really important. It reminds me of Martini. I just had a flashback to one of my mentors. And he's a brash guy who's got a castle in Scotland. You can guess who he is. And, he once said to someone, can you get the money for a deal? It's like $100,000. And the people in the room are like, "No, I can't." He's like, "Well, what if I put a gun to your little baby's head? Do you think you could do it in 24 hours? Of course you could." Right. And so it's like, how motivated are you? That's what's really important. What is at stake for you and what is on the line? Because if you want something bad enough, then you're going to be able to make it happen in an instant. And that's what really this is all about. Can you make these things happen for you? Can you create opportunities? And can you provide for the people that look to you? Folks, this is Michael Saylor. He's been a guest on London Real twice. He owns $75 billion of Bitcoin. True story. True story. All right. He believes that Bitcoin is the apex property of the human race. He's about to buy another $40 billion worth of Bitcoin, and he thinks that each coin is going to $13 million each. Okay. He thinks that AIs and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. Now, a lot of my students in the academy say, "Brian, where can I learn about crypto? Where do I stay up to date? What news websites do I go to?" And I tell them, forget the news. What you need to do is go listen to the masters of the universe. And one of those is Michael Saylor. And so I encourage you now to pay attention for the next 2 minutes and listen to what this man has to say.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than $4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade, there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, "Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations."
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff, and nobody can take it away from them.
We like Michael. We feeling those vibes, right? Yeah, he's the man. And I think one day we're going to build a statue for him. I think he really has changed the game. And now I think 135 different public companies around the world own Bitcoin. When I first talked to him in 2020, he was the only one. I think him and Elon own a little bit, but he took it to the next level. And now there's people copying him everywhere with Ethereum. Trump is copying that as well with World Liberty Financial, Solana, you name it. People are doing it, and it's incredible. Takeaways from Michael. Number one, crypto is encrypted energy. You really want to think about this differently. It's about like walking around with a pocket full of energy. No government can debase it. No corporation can steal it, unlike your money now, because crypto actually transcends money. It's the strongest, hardest form of money you've ever felt in your life. Folks, if it wasn't obvious, 2025 is the year of crypto. And if you don't take action, you're going to miss the whole thing. You've already missed almost 2/3 of it. And I'm telling you, it's going to be New Year's Eve like that. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I just missed the biggest bull run of my life. And it's going to be over. Now, some say it's coming back in 2030. You can wait. I'm not waiting, Elisa. I'm not waiting. And I think by then it's going to be dominated by BlackRock. I think for most of us, this is our last chance to reap massive amounts of wealth in an opportunity that's right in front of our faces. And so where and how do we invest? Well, first you have to find the hottest trend, and I'll explain to you our investment thesis shortly. But there's one thing you need that you will never find on your own. I am 100% confident of this because I've tried, all right? And that is deal flow. If you want the deals that I've showed you, the 14Xs, the 20Xs, the 22Xs, the 40Xs, the 50Xs, you're not going to find those, Elsa, when you go into LinkedIn. You're not going to find them, Elisa, when you go to your local crypto conference. You're not going to find them, David, on some Telegram group. You know what you're going to find at those places? Ways to lose all of your money. And I'm not talking about the 10K you allocated to crypto. I'm talking about when that ride ends, you've lost the millions of dollars in your home and your bank and your kids' savings. I've heard about it. Now, I've read some terrible article in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend, Martini, about these two ladies that became friends, and one lady was like a billionaire family from the Thompson financial empire, and it was like her yoga friend, and they got into crypto in 21, and they got all crazy about some tokens, and they were best friends, and now they're suing each other. The yoga lady, she lost all of her money, like all of her money. She now drives an Uber, and the billionaire later is suing her, and they're countersuing each other because they lost all their money in crypto on stupid deals. And so don't think this is like something that's just, this is the kind of thing, if you get into it wrong, can ruin your life. But if you get into it right, it can create the most exceptional life you've ever dreamed of. And that's exactly what we're going for here. And that's why I've been traveling the world for the last 5 years, to find the people that are going to bring the deals that are going to create you millions of dollars. That's what I do. This is one of my first trips to Dubai. On the left, you can see me hanging out with the big influencers. That's Chris and Carl. You can see me hanging out with government officials, venture capitalists, and of course, the big influencers. From there, I flew to Paris, France, sat down at a private dinner with some of the biggest VCs on the planet, some of the hottest deals. Of course, I'm always doing media, shooting documentary films, more influencers, more VCs. And then I was back to London, had to do an episode with Yatsu at London Real, went to the Token 2049 conference, and then it was on a plane to Austin, Texas. Here I am hanging out with celebrities like William Shatner, my friend Alex Jones, more VCs, more influencers. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see a picture of me and 14 members of our investment club. Can everybody see those people down there? Elisa, do you see them? Elsa, do you see them? Looks like they're having a good old time down there, right? Can you see that, Sandeep? Right? Why are they laughing? Why are they having so much fun? Well, we're making a lot of money, all right? And that doesn't hurt, all right? But we're also making lifelong friendships. We're changing the world. And we're hanging out with the coolest founders in crypto. It's just a lot of fun. And that's what happens when you get us together. We get a little crazy. From there, I was off to Singapore, where I'm going next month as well. And here I'm changing the color of my suit every couple days. What's wrong with me, Elisa? I mean, I'm white, it's orange, it's pink, it's pinstripe. I mean, something really is wrong with me. Some people say my mom didn't give me enough attention. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's something going on. But the truth is that my suits also bring us deals. And so the other day I was wearing my orange suit and somebody walked across and said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Brian Rose of London Real Ventures. Who are you?" And he said, "Well, I got a deal." And I said, "All right, now let's talk." And so my suits have already made us millions of dollars. Just don't tell my tailor because he'll definitely want to cut. Now from here, I went to Toronto, where I got to hang out with, again, more of these influencers, some incredible people. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we kind of doubled and tripled our size. That's the investment club. And you can see we get a little crazy down there. And some of the people are even trying to outsuit me, right, Elsa? Who's that crazy guy? There's a crazy Frenchman there in the front row. And so, yeah, look, when you get us together, we love having a good time. We're planning to be together for the next 10, 20 years, make a lot of money, change the world. And of course, I always make it back to Dubai. And here I am interviewing people on stage, premiering one of our films and hanging out with CZ here from Binance. I think he's worth a couple $100 billion. And it's just good to always be plugged into the big names. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. What does that mean? Well, we look at a lot of deals. And this is the snapshot of the number of deals we'll look at every single week. We'll boil this down into 2, 3, 4 deals that we'll show you on a Monday and a Thursday night. From there, we're even more choosy, and we only pick the best of the best of the best, and that's how we're able to make a lot of money. But there's something else. You've got to understand the financial tools, and none of you do at this point. Well, some of you have. David's done a pre-sale deal. Darren has as well. But most of you don't. And you think the way to make money in crypto is to buy some token on an exchange and wait. That's the way to lose money in crypto, all right? And by the way, holding Bitcoin right now is probably the stupidest thing you can do because Bitcoin's going to go up 20% in the biggest bull market of your generation. Congratulations. You know, you could get the same result owning a tech stock. We're here to make 20x, 50x, 100x deals. And to do that, you have to understand the tools. And I'm talking about, first, our investment thesis. We believe that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments, it represents the hottest opportunity on the planet. Why? Well, you buy at super low valuations, number one. Number two, you see the biggest gains possible. Number three, you invest in what I'm calling the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history. And number four, it's high risk, but the reward, it's even higher. And we do it through this practice of pre-sale tokens. Again, secretly buying tokens from CEOs before they ever come on a public market. By the way, Martini, we got one of our tokens launching tomorrow. It's called BitLayer. Their CEO, Charlie Hu, is a legend. I interviewed him in the studio. I saw him out in Austin. I've seen him in Hong Kong. Their token generating tomorrow. We have another deal token generating next week. All right. This is the season, folks. This is where we start making big money. And you could be involved, but you got to pull the trigger. Okay. Fortune favors the brave. No one's going to hand you this. You've got to go out and grab it. And it's all done with pre-sale tokens. And one of those, as I showed you an example earlier, is Solana. Now, how many people know this token, Solana? Sandeep, you know it. Eliza, you probably know it. David, you know it. Well, you could have bought this as a pre-sale token. Well, let's look at it. Can everyone see this red circle on the screen here? Show me some love. Yeah, April 5th, 2018. Can everyone see the blue circle? 4 pennies each. Okay, this is all information on the blockchain. It's publicly available information. But this shows exactly where you could have bought those tokens. And what happened? Well, you know what happened. 4 pennies went to $200, and $1,000 invested would have made you $5 million. Now, again, real quick, who here could use an extra $5 million right about now? Elsa's in. Sandeep's coming back around. Maybe Brian, you know, just for the kids, right? Okay, yeah. Right. Look, $5 million is, look, it's for me, money equals freedom. You know, for me, money gives you the freedom to make choices. And maybe you want to choose to quit your job. Maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you want to give it all away to charity. Maybe you want to put your grandkids through college. Imagine going to bed at night knowing your grandkids are covered, right? That's a nice feeling. For me, money equals freedom. I don't believe money is the end goal. And that's what makes us different than every crypto person on the planet. They think once you're rich, you're done. No, once you're rich, now you got some actually new problems to deal with. Now you got to go find your purpose. Now you got to go find something to contribute back to humanity. That's what we do in here. The money isn't the end goal. Is that clear to everybody here? This is so important, right? It just gives you the room to stop living in a constant state of stress about money. Is anyone here been stressed about money in their lives? Just raise your hand, right? I mean, I think we've all been there, right? It's a terrible place to be. So we remove that. It gives you the room to figure out what you want to do in your life. And that's what we want to do here. How many people want more freedom in their life? Anybody? I think we all do, right? And so that's what this is all about. And again, I'm having all these flashbacks, Martini, with Dan Pena. And I still remember when Dan Pena came to my studio in 2014, right? And he's in a three-piece suit. And I was in a skateboarding t-shirt and no shoes. This is what this looked like, right? And I'm thinking, who the heck is this guy? What was I thinking, even bringing him over here? I wish he would leave, right? And he looked at me and he said, Brian, he said, I have more money than you, which means I have more choices than you, right? Of course, Dan says it even more. He says it even worse than that, right? And so, but let's be honest, he had a point there. I've been meditating on that recently, you know? He had more money than me, which means he had more choices than me. I want to give you more choices. That's what it's all about, you know? I want you to have more choices in your life. That's what money really is. It shouldn't be considered anything else. Money's not evil. You know, you can use it in a bad way. You can let it turn you into the person you don't want it to be, but it should just give you more choices. Now, let's just zoom out here really quick. Did anybody buy Solana for 4 pennies each? Raise your hands. Not a single person. Why? Elisa, why didn't you? Well, I'll tell you why, because you didn't know someone like me. You didn't have a Brian Rose in your life that could have texted you on the morning of April 5th and said, hey, Elisa, let's buy some Solana. If you want, you can get some right now for 4 pennies each. How many people would have loved to get a text message on that day with at least the opportunity to do that, right? I would have too. You can always delete. You could block me. I don't know who this guy is. Get away, right? But at least you see it, right? And, you know, this isn't a hypothetical situation because this is something I do every single day. I text the members of my investment club a deal link every single day that shows them the latest, hottest opportunity. Now, we do all our stuff in Telegram, which is what this app is. And here's my investment club deal right here. And tonight, and here is pinned the Crypto Nights deal, I think is what it is. Yeah. And you can click on that deal, and in 30 seconds, you're invested and you're done. And my job is to get you the hottest deals on the planet texted to your phone every single day. And then you make the choices. And that's the other thing I want to talk about. Sandeep, I don't manage your money. I think that's an insult. I'm here to give you the education on those calls on a Monday and a Thursday, of course, on the Crypto and DeFi Academy, and to allow you to make the decisions about your money, right? And to get smarter and smarter and smarter over time to where a year or 2 or 3 years from now, you're so good that you can do this on your own. Nothing would make me happier, right? And so my job is to give you those opportunities. And it reminds me of a line from one of my favorite movies. It's called Wall Street. Has anybody seen this movie? It's a classic, a little old. But there's a guy in the movie named Gordon Gekko, and he says the most valuable commodity I know of is information. Now, that's something you don't hear very often. A lot of people would have said he's going to talk about a stock or a bond or a piece of real estate or a bar of gold. But he knew that the way to make billions of dollars was the right piece of information at the right time, like the link to buy Solana on April 5th. Now, how many people agree the most valuable commodity is information? Are you all with me? Well, that's my job. I'm going to get you the highest quality information every single day to give you the possibility to make decisions and get the 10x, 20x, 30x, 50x, and more. Folks, how do you create generational wealth? You got to pull the trigger. And most of you right now aren't. I think you're too scared to jump in and start pulling the trigger on these pre-sale token deals. And my job is to get you comfortable doing something new that can change your life forever. Because our default as a human is, no, that's scary. I'd rather just, I want to just do what I did yesterday. That's comfortable. Even if that could create you $1 billion, it's still scary for you. And so you've got to get comfortable with just pulling the trigger and going through your fears. I don't know about you, but I think that everything you ever desired is on the other side of your fear. Does anyone agree with that statement? Think about that. Everything you ever wanted, right? It's on the other side of that fear. We've all done it before where you push yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, right? You know, sometimes that first date you went on was a fear, right? Sometimes, remember when I was having kids, I was like, oh, the last thing I want to do. Oh my God, thank God I did. I got these beautiful boys. Gosh, they're gorgeous, right? But I mean, I could have let my fear stop me and I would have been one of those sad bachelors walking around, right? But I didn't. And so all these things are right there and they'll define your life. And if you don't make those decisions, 30 years from now, you look back and think, oh my God, I missed such an opportunity. And it reminds me of one of the videos that same mentor played for me. And I'm going to play it for you now about basically taking chances or just sitting back and letting the world go by. And unfortunately, a lot of us just watch the world go by every day and we're too scared to make choices that seemed really obvious. And my mentor used to play this video for us all the time. He's like, this is you. You're watching all of these beautiful opportunities go by. They're so easy. They're so juicy. They're even out there completely defenseless. All you have to do is stick your teeth and your claws in them, and you get your 10x, your 20x, your millions of dollars, your freedom, everything you ever wanted. It's right there. And you're watching it all go by until someone like me comes in and says, yep, I'll take one of those. That was easy, right? And the other line ran away, right? What's the difference between those two lines? Any ideas, Elsa? I mean, what's the difference, right, Sandeep? It's just about going for it, right? It's just about pulling the trigger and moving through. And so the next time you're just on the edge of a decision, just think about it. Like, which line do you want to be? Do you want to be the one that watches the world go by? Or do you be the one that just says, yeah, okay, I'll take it. Easy. That was the easiest thing he ever did. A completely, right there, boom. All it took was a little action. And this is what you get when you take action. Companies like this. Each one of these companies with the potential to become a $2 billion, $5 billion company. And again, making every member of my club absolutely filthy rich. And they deserve it because they took a risk. And no one else deserves it, quite frankly. And that's what you're going to find in life. You're going to get what you deserve. And if you're willing to go out there and find a way to get through your fears, you're going to have amazing things. And if you don't, then you won't. And for us, it all comes down to London Real Ventures. This is the entity that can give you access to deals that would normally require a $1 billion fund. This is the entity that brings the CEOs with the hottest deals right to London Real. And we put everyone together and we create these amazing, amazing opportunities. And it all comes down to my quadruple threat. This is why the CEOs want to be on the show. And Elsa, you can probably see how this works. Number one is production. The CEO flies to London or Dubai, sit down with me, leather chairs, 6-camera, high definition. We create a beautiful piece of media, the best they've ever created. Number two, I distribute that to 5 million potential customers. That's huge. Number three, I connect them with the Tapieros and the Yatsus of the world. And number four, we write them a big fat $200,000 check. There's not a single CEO that can say no to this. Not a single one. And that's how we can get you the hottest deals. We turn down so many deals. Man, Martini, you wouldn't want to look at my Telegram. Like all those CEOs that come on that we don't say yes to, they keep messaging me sometimes months later, years later, Brian, we'd really love you involved with the deal. And I feel bad, but we have to say no to most people. But most people in crypto, they have to say yes to everybody because they don't have choices, right? I guess I go back to Dan Pena and say, Dan, I have more media than you do, which means I have more choices than you do. Yeah, that's what I'll say to Dan next time I see him. I probably will. There's one last point, folks, and that's how do you learn how to invest? And this is one that might offend some of you, but look, my job is to be honest with you, okay? It's the best way to get to the next level. Because I think right now, most of you aren't surrounding yourself with the best, not the very best in your life. Now, how many people agree with this statement? You're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Sandeep knows that's true. Lisa, you probably know that's true, right? Bally, Ilsa, David. And as that same mentor used to say to me, who you hanging out with, Brian? Losers. That's why you're getting loser results. Stop hanging out with your toxic family members and your friends from high school who still act like they're in high school and start getting around high performance people, billionaires, decabillionaires, CEOs, people changing the world. That's how you become wealthy, folks, not by doing the same thing you're doing now. Does anybody here have a toxic family member in your life? Or an old friend that you keep around, maybe because you feel guilty that's not taking you anywhere? Come on, be honest. I think we all do, right? You got to cut them out, Elisa. We're going to help you with that, all right? I promise starting Monday, right? But look, it sounds harsh, but the problem is that unless you get rid of them, you can't help anybody. If you go create this amazing wealth, you can come back and help them, but you can't help them while they're leached onto you, holding you down without them even knowing it. That's the problem. And when I looked at my life was all about creating a new peer group for myself, especially in my teens and my 20s. And I don't know if I stumbled on this or what, but Brian Rose on the left, there he is, 16 years old. I'm in San Diego, California, making $6 an hour. And I would have stayed there and probably still be making $6 an hour if I hadn't have got out of my comfort zone. Okay. Now I flew across the country 6 hours away. I went to MIT. I got my butt kicked by the smartest kids in the world. And I came out 4 years later and I graduated. All right. Was that an upgrade in peer group? What people say here? It was. And it was hard. It was hard, right? But they taught me that I could compete at the highest level, right? But that's all great. But the problem was I was still broke, right? I knew I had to go to the next level. So I took those grades at MIT and I got a job on Wall Street. That's Brian on the right. on the 31st floor of Bankers Trust Plaza, surrounded by 300 alpha males and female traders, each making between $9 and $12 million a year. And you get in the way of their bonus and they will literally run you over. I've been run over by traders, knocked flat on my butt. There's no apology. It's get out of my way, kid, is what they said. They used to yell at us, abuse us, whatever. But they also taught us how to make a boatload of money. And 3 or 4 years later, I was making millions a year. Folks, I say this because if you want to get to the next level, you're going to have to get to the next level of your peer group. Okay. You're going to need bigger, more important people in your life. Okay. Billionaire founders, key people in your life that can take you to the next level. How many people know I'm probably right with this? Anybody? And it's hard to find these people, right? Sandeep, you know, you're a very plugged in guy. It's hard to get a billionaire to mentor you. It's hard to get a deca-billionaire in the room to share deal flow with you. Why? Because I hang out with these people in Dubai. The billionaires want to hang out with the deca-billionaires. The deca-billionaires want to hang out with the centibillionaires like CZ, and CZ wants to hang out with Elon, right? They don't want to hang out with you. What do you bring to the table? Nothing. So it's very hard to get in with these people, but when you do, it's an incredible opportunity, all right? Now, let me ask a quick question here. I'm going to ask you, Elisa, because I'm putting you on the spot today. What if you told your friends after this call, guess what? I'm going to make $10 million in crypto with Brian Rose of London Real. What would they say to you, Elisa? Would they look at you funny? Would they say you're a little crazy? No, maybe, I don't know. What would everybody here say? Sandeep, what would they say? Elsa? Look, they might snicker a little bit and be like, oh no, here we go. Elisa with the crypto again. There we go. She's always talking about that. Lord knows, you know, God bless her. The problem is the people in your life, they don't really believe you're going to do it. And maybe deep down inside, they would be terrified if you did do it because they might think that you'll never actually hang out with them. And it would be a reflection on their own efforts. And so unfortunately, a lot of these people keep you where you are. And that's the reason I created the investment club. So you could hang out with someone like Marianne Bartels. Now, Marianne is one of the founding members of our club, okay? She was a 35-year Wall Street veteran, chief investment officer for Merrill Lynch, Bank of America. Yeah, those banks, all right? She's made her clients tens of billions of dollars, all right? Now, Elisa, what do you think Marianne's going to say to you when you tell her you want to make $10 million in crypto? And I'll tell you what she'd say. She'd say, Lisa, baby, why 10 million? Let's make 100 million. Let's make $1 billion over 10 years. All right. This is the type of person you need in your life. Someone who is going to push you beyond your expectations because life is short, right? We're going to blink our eyes. We're going to be 80 and there's going to be no time left. Wouldn't you want a Marianne in your life? Who wants someone like this in your life that believes in you, that pushes you to the next level, right? Be careful when you raise your hands. You might not want them because they're going to push you maybe harder than you're used to. But these are the type of people that are priceless. And I don't use that term sparingly. I don't use that term flippantly because having someone like Marianne in your life is priceless. If you went to New York City right now and waited outside of her Wall Street office and asked her to buy her coffee, she would say no, because why would she? She's too busy. But if you join the investment club, you can spend Zoom calls with her. You can get to know her and the entire network of people. And that's what we offer, access to the people that'll change your life forever. This is Tigran. He's one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys. This is your new peer group. He's one of the founding members of our club. All right. This guy will change your life the more time you spend with him. I think he's invested in almost every deal. He was on the call a couple nights ago. He's constantly active and recently went out to Beverly Hills, took Martini out with a bunch of our members to dinner, bought them all flowers. When you're hanging out with this guy, Sandeep, he's not talking to you about the ball game on the weekend. He's not talking to you about the Netflix series he spent 8 hours watching on a Sunday. He's talking about the next $1 billion idea. Okay. This is your new peer group. This is Andrew Haynes. He's our expert in the metaverse and Web3 and all the blockchain protocols. Here he is graduating from one of the top executive training schools in Switzerland. This is your new peer group. You can jump on a call with him. He'll walk you through anything you need to know about this system. I'm telling you, you're going to start hanging out with some high-level people. This is Dr. Encore. 4 years ago, he was in medicine. He took our Crypto and DeFi Academy, the same 4-week course that Sandeep is on, Elisa's on, that Darren's graduating from, David's graduating from. And he graduated, took our Kings of DeFi, graduated, was the founding member of our investment club. We hired him about a year ago to source deals. He's now one of the best in the world. This is your new peer group. And guess what? I got 146 more of these people. Some of the names I'm not even allowed to mention. They're so famous, okay? These people are going to take you to the next level, right? This is what gets you to the next level. Don't get me wrong. The mentorship, the education, the deal flow, everything's amazing, but the peer group is what's really going to change you. And guess what? Most of you will never actually invest in a peer group because, I don't know, people are silly that way. But this is what it's all about. And this is our family. Here's some selfies I took behind the scenes at various conferences, and what you see is people that just love spending time together. This is an event we did in London with our investment club, and we just love hanging out together. People flew in from all over the world just to be together and to listen to new deals, etc. Folks, I believe your net worth is your network. How many people agree with that? Anybody here? Right? Sandeep's in, Elsa in. You know, it really is. But what are you doing to change your network? How are you going to get those high-level people involved? They're very hard to attract. And that's why we created the investment club, because I believe if you get a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. We teach people how to fish. And so back in 21, we created this. And that was the first time we ever invested in a pre-sale token. I still remember the deal. It was called Cross the Ages, one of the hottest gaming companies in blockchain. And I won't lie, it scared the heck out of me. I was freaked out. I had a Zoom call with a stranger just like this. And about 20 minutes later, he said, Brian, I need you to send me $100,000 in stable coins. I still remember. And I said, what are you, crazy? I don't even know you. I don't even know this wallet. I just saw the legal documents. I need 2 weeks. He said, you got 20 minutes or you're going to miss this deal. And he was right. He was right. And here I am, Mr. Big Hotshot Banker, Mr. MIT grad, and I can't even figure out this new pre-sale token because there are a bunch of cowboys out there. And I went ahead and did the deal. We made a bunch of money, but I realized that here we are. We have 2 ways we can go, right? This could be a way where our London reelers all around the world could make a boatload of money. Or without us, this could be a way where they would lose all their money, right? Because this is cowboy land out there. It's crazy in pre-sale tokens. And I thought to myself, you know what? If we could harness this and really teach it and foster that deal flow and really take this to the next level, we could change our members, our London Reel family and army, more so than any video could, more so than any one of our documentary films or classes. And I spoke to Martini and we decided to go for it. And it's been the greatest product we've ever created in 4 years. Greatest product. It's an application-only system now. There's 10 spaces available every quarter. They're always gone. They're oversubscribed. Martini's busy almost 24/7 taking calls from people all over the world that want to join. Ton of interest from the Middle East, ton of interest from the United States, as you imagine right now. It's 6 modules, 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program, but guess what? No one's ever left. It's turned into a lifetime program, which is pretty incredible. We do weekly live Zoom calls with top CEOs. We're now doing 2, 3, 4 a week. There's a private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow. And if you don't know crypto, if you've never bought a Bitcoin, there's no problem. You get a full year of our Kings of DeFi program for free. We'll bring you up the curve. Most people, it takes them 2, 3 weeks for their first deal. Next live call, Thursday, 7 p.m. Reach out to Martini. You can attend it and check it out. And there's one on Monday as well. We teach this remote into countries, probably 30, 40 countries around the world. And this is our syllabus. Module 1, what is a crypto pre-sale token? I sent you that already. Module 2, what is a SAFT? Raise your hand if you know what a SAFT is. Anybody here? Not a single person. Okay. SAFT is the reason I think you're stuck in a cycle of poverty, because a SAFT is what the rich use to get richer. And that lack of financial knowledge is probably why you're going to be stuck in the same old treadmill you've been on for the last 20 years, right? What's that? What do they say, Elisa? They say the definition of insanity is repeating the same financial action and expecting a different result. And yet most of us are caught up in that. I'm waiting for a raise. I'm going to save all my money. I'm going to give my money to my bankers and they're going to put it in mutual funds. Yeah, how's all that working out for you? Not so good. You've got to change the game. And so you've got to invest in your education. A SAFT is a simple agreement for future tokens. You're going to learn these, you're going to use these, and they're going to make you rich. Module 3, how to identify early winners. I'm going to show you how to conduct pre-sale due diligence and evaluate companies when you see them in 10 minutes to where you can make a call on them. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. I'm going to show you what conference to go to, what ticket to buy, what to wear, and what events to go to where you can use your phone to scan QR codes and get deals back to the group in real time. Module 5, how do we nurture these deals into multi-billion-dollar protocols? And Module 6, what do you do with all the cash? You're going to have so much money, you're not going to know what the heck to do with it. I recommend you spend some, you save some, and you put the rest back into tokens and you make, wealth for your grandkids. That's what we're talking about here. This is our Telegram group. This is our Discord group. And here are the details, folks. As I mentioned, we're oversubscribed. All the spaces go fast. The investment in the next 10, 20 years of your life, in the education and the mentorship, the community, crazy deal flow, 100, 200, 300 deals a year is $50,000. And that gets you the hottest deals in the world. Now, look, I understand that's a significant amount of money. I used to make $6 an hour. I get it. But that also gets you unlimited financial returns. What if it made you $50 million? It'd be the best investment you ever make your entire life. And of course, it's your chance to take part in the greatest wealth creation event in human history that's ending probably in the next few weeks and months. And of course, our special investment opportunities, those 2 deals I showed you early, are ending now. And those are 2 of the best deals we've seen so far, and you're going to miss them. And so the time to take action is now. By the way, this is a deal last quarter that you miss, and this is a SAFT agreement, by the way. Don't let it intimidate you. And that deal was up 466% in one day. Now, why do I mention this? Because if you had suspended your fears and suspended the procrastinations and stopped the but, and put 10K in this deal, you would have paid for the entire club for the rest of your life. It shows you how easy this is to change your life forever. But you didn't do it. And many of you won't do this because your fears will stop you for another time in your life. How many times has your fears stopped you from taking advantage of an amazing situation that could have changed your life? And this might happen to you again, but for some of you, you're going to say, you know what? Enough is enough, Brian. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of my government lying to me, my corporations lying to me. I'm tired of all the matrix stuff. I'm tired of having no education about money, and I'm going to change this for myself. I'm going to take action today and invest in digital assets. This is the way, folks. This opportunity was not here 5 years ago, and I doubt it's going to be here 5 years from now. They say fortune favors the brave. And which one are you? And you've seen our track record, folks. Shrapnel, $5 million profit, 20x in 20 days. Skillful AI, $4 million up 20x. Mochaverse, 20x. Story Protocol, 22x. Our meme coin, 14x. And our $1 billion fund did a 4x. How many more of these do you have to see? I got 10 more if you want to see them. I can show you another 10. How many do you need to see until you realize, yeah, I better do this? I think you've probably seen enough. I think everyone here knows the decision, but only a few of you are going to be able to make it. And that means only a few of you deserve what's on the other side. This is my pledge to the people in my club. I'm going to create $10 billion in the next 10 years. And at this rate, it's going to happen in 5 years. And who knows, it could happen next year at this rate. And this is my goal. My goal is to make my members filthy rich. I tried making myself rich. It made me miserable when I was a banker, but I really like making other people rich. It's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people like that. It's so much more fun. And when we do it together, it's incredible. Folks, these are the members of our club. They're incredible people with real names and real stories. And each one of these people has a video they made telling you how this club changed their life forever and how much they love being a part of it. Go watch the videos, londonreal.tv/club. You can go watch them right now. Carol's going to tell you that every member is both a learner and an investor. Joe's going to tell you the window of opportunity is closing quickly, and you know he's right. You're about to miss this whole thing. Jerry's just honored to be part of the club, loves the vibes, loves what he's doing. Yvette is a single mom with 4-year-old twins. I mean, what's your excuse? Here's a woman who's busier than most anybody I know, and she's done 16 deals. And you're here telling me you're busy. I don't believe you're busier than Dr. Yvette, right? With 2 rugrats running around. I think they're 5 now, okay? So don't tell me you're busy, because that just means you don't want this, okay? Because that's not true. There's a way to make this happen. You just have to make it happen. This is Jens, who says, how can you afford not to join us? Imagine looking back 6 months from now and thinking, how did I miss this opportunity? You can't afford not to do this. This is Petya. She actually couldn't afford to join the club. You know what she did? She joined anyways. She said, you know what, Martini, I'm going to go find this money. That's what I'm going to do. And you know what she did? She did. She found the $50,000. And you know what she did after that? She's invested in 68 deals, $5,000 minimum. Do the math, Elsa, right? So where did she find that money? She made it happen because she put herself in a situation where she had to create the wealth. We've got about 10 or 20 people in our club that did that as well. And they deserve what they're going to get. Not somebody who gives me some excuse. The people that took action are the ones that deserve these amazing results. This is Chris. He said the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. We love Chris because he actually does this club with his 14-year-old son. And that's what we love about this. We've got fathers and sons. We've got mothers and daughters. We've got boyfriends and girlfriends. We've got husbands and wives all doing this together. We love a family that really focuses on financial education. And this is Chris talking about his experience in the investment club.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals, and that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week, and for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
We liking Chris, feeling those vibes, right? Chris is amazing. Everybody in there is amazing. These people want you to win, okay? There's no competition in there because everybody wins, but they do expect you to show up and make a boatload of money because that's what we all do. And unlike your current family and friends, we're not going to get intimidated when you come home and tell us you made 10 million bucks, Elisa. We're going to say, good for you. Let's make 20. That's what this group is like. I'm so spoiled in this group. I don't even know what negative energy feels like anymore. I'm so honestly, Sandeep, it's crazy. I'm so attuned to negative vibes now that whenever I hear them, I run away. I was getting my haircut the other day and there was these 2 guys next to me and they were complaining about their wives or something. I almost walked out. I was like, ooh, this is gross. And I haven't felt it in years because I only surround myself with positive people who want to change the world. And like, that's my club, that's my guests, that's everybody around me. And I'm never around people who don't think I can do everything I put my mind to and don't encourage me. And I'm never around anybody that I don't encourage to do the same thing. And so every now and then I'm stuck in a chair for 20 minutes. It doesn't take long to cut my hair. And I'm like, who are these people that are like wasting their time talking about other people, that are like making fun of each other and telling each other that they're no good? And I'm like, I'm really spoiled, Martini, I think, with our group, because we're just around people who believe in each other and want us to change the world forever. It's a beautiful thing. Folks, it only takes one. If there's one thing to take away from today's call, one of these deals can change your life forever. You better have one, and even better have 5, 6, 7, and you're going to be set. And the more you have, the more money you'll make. Final thoughts. Don't let this year pass you by. You've missed most of it. I'm telling you, you're going to blink your eyes. It's going to be New Year's and you're going to miss this. You got to really bear down and take massive action now, but you can do it. You still can do it. There's still time left. You can learn early stage investing now. What I teach you, you can use the rest of your life. Remember that liquid tokens and equities have limited gains. If you go buy a token on an exchange right now, Elsa, somebody like me has already taken out 50x. You're not going to get a 50x on that token. No way. You've got to go early stage. You've got to go further upstream, and that's what we do. This is your chance to learn from active elite investors for only $50,000. Look, I know a guy like Dan Tapiero with $1 billion fund. If you ask Dan to sit next to him and learn about trading and investing for the next 10 years and get access to all of his deals for a measly 50K, he would laugh and throw you out of his office or his island in Puerto Rico where he lives, right? He'd be like, what are you, joking? He wouldn't do it for $500,000 because they're too busy. This is actually an incredible opportunity, and it's an incredible price. And yes, of course, it's a significant investment, but it gets you unlimited financial returns. And now, thanks to Martini, we have the payment plan. This is key. So for $10,000 a month for 6 months, you're in. What does that mean? If you have limited cash flow, 10K gets you in the club. Then you can put 5K into one of those deals, or maybe 5K and another 5K into those deals I just showed you. You're great. You're going to have tokens next month, and you're off to the races with liquidity. This was not happening 6 months ago, or 12 months ago, or 24 months ago. This only works now. So I recommend you take advantage of these markets now. 6 months from now, I cannot guarantee that you're going to invest in a deal with me and get tokens in the next few weeks. Right now, you will. So take advantage of this opportunity. And of course, you get the best deal flow in the world. Remember what Warren Buffett said, the best investment you can make is in yourself. He's talking about getting in the right room with the right people. And yet most of you will ignore this man's advice. And you'll keep hanging out with your mom and your stepmom and your auntie and your cousin and your friend group you've had for 20 years. And you'll keep living small. And you'll wake up 30 years from now wondering, why didn't I get more out of my life? Okay, that's your choice. Or you can pay to get into a room full of high performance people that want the most out of life. It's your choice. And if you want to join, there's only one way. Book a call with Martini. She makes the final call on everyone entering this group, which is why we have such an amazing group. Okay. Here's 4 different ways to book a call with her. And she's there to have these conversations with you. But if you book a call with her, please make sure you're serious about joining. Okay. She's super busy. We respect her time. And she wants to talk to people who want to join this club now, not next week, not next month, but now. But she's had conversations with thousands of people. All right. And she knows probably your situation, and she can probably talk about whether this is the right decision for you. But you're not going to find that out unless you book a call with her. And yeah, Martini doesn't bite. Okay. She's nicer than I am. That's for sure. So book a call, have that conversation. It's really worth it. If you don't book the call, then you're never going to know. And again, you're going to be back to that same thing, watching all those things go by, to not taking action. Take action today. Book that call. And of course, you can join us on Monday for our crypto and DeFi course. It's going to be amazing. It really is an incredible experience. Price is discounted by 60%. 4 weeks, 4 modules. Again, 8 hours of live calls with me, our own e-learning platform with my videos, triple tiered accountability system, dedicated coaches and team leaders. It really is an amazing course. And you're pre-approved to buy on this course. LondonReal.tv/buy. You can get in right now. And it's only for London Realers, family, and the army of us worldwide. Okay. This is only for people that have identified with the brand, that have spent time with our website, that followed us for years. Only you are pre-approved for this course, and you should jump in. Folks, what is your why? Why are you on this planet, right? Sandeep, why are you here? Elsa, why are you here? Why? What really matters to you? For me, it's these boys, right? Get some hearts from Sandeep. Thank you for that, right? At the end of the day, what matters? Family matters, right? Martini, that my boys were at the studio the other day, and we have these we have a ceramic bulldog, right? Because it's the theme of London Real. And so the other day I looked out and the boys are freaking out and Damon's crying, and I came out like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And Caden's like, Damon, he kicked the dog, and a dog had broken his face off, right? It was a chunk of his face off. And they were iPad FaceTime and mommy's like, what's going on? I'm like, I got this. And I sat him down. I said, look, guys, they were freaking out. They thought I would be angry. I said, look, guys, it's just stuff. They said, what do you mean, Dad? I said, it's just stuff. I said, what matters is you and me and us and a family. That's what matters. This is just stuff. Okay. And it just made me think, they're what matters. And so whenever I'm facing a difficult decision or I have to go into some fear, I just think, well, I'm ultimately doing this for them because I want to provide and I want to protect. And that's what's important to me. And if I can do that, I'm going to live a great life. Do I need another mansion? Do I need no, not really. What I really need is to make sure that I fulfill my duty for these boys. I do that with providing and protecting. And this is your opportunity to do the same with the people in your life. But it doesn't come by making easy decisions. It just doesn't. And that's why most people will fail to do this with the people that they really care about, supposedly. Some people say, do you care about your kids? Yeah, I care a lot. I love them so much. Okay, why aren't you taking action right now if you love them? Anybody can say, I love my kids. Love is a verb, right? It requires difficult actions. And this is an opportunity to do that. Or you can wait for what the world wants to hand you, and it ain't going to be much. So think about what your why is and channel that into a direct decision to change your life. Folks, this is the video I promised you, LondonReal.tv/bonus. It'll show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. And of course, join us on our next call on a Thursday or a Monday. Really come. It's going to be fun. Yeah, some of the terms might go over your head, but you're going to learn so much. And you can reach out to Martini. She'll get you on one of those calls, or go to LondonReal.tv/club call. Folks, I'd love to answer your questions. Can you send me a DM right here in the chat, and I'll answer any question you want. Was that helpful to everybody here? Sandeep, was that good? Darren and David, always nice to have you here. Elsa, nice to have you here. And great to have everybody else. I can also see we got Martini here, which is a special treat. Martini, tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, definitely great call today, Brian. And of course, it's great to see all these beautiful faces that are here on the line here. And hopefully you got to get a little bit of an insight of what it is that we do here with the investment club. And also just taking a look at, Brian, you are right. I do talk to thousands of people from all over the world. And it's interesting to see how money is not the goal. It was really interesting for me to see that, where people are looking into investing and it wasn't the end all be all overall goal. But what Brian said earlier is that money allows you to have choices. So although it's not about the money per se, but it's what the money and what building generational wealth provides, which provides peace of mind, being able to sleep at night, being able to take care of your family, being able to send your kids or grandkids to college, making sure that everybody is set and just, prepared for all that life has to offer, right? And so in taking a look at this investment club, we are giving you an opportunity to invest in these early stage companies that are not only here to change the world, but are also here to change the trajectory of each and all of our lives who are investing in these companies. So it's a really cool thing that we have going on. So hopefully you are able to grasp, some of the options that are available to you when it comes to investing. And speaking of options, early stage investing or just having access to these type of opportunities is not open to the general public. You pretty much have to know somebody, which the wealthy typically do to be able to do this. So with London Real and London Real Ventures, we are offering the opportunity for our community here to be able to partake in these amazing things and opportunities that we have here. So if this is your jam and you're looking into the investment club, I put some links inside of the chat below. The very first link is for you to go ahead and take a look at the investment club page, and that's going to give you a rundown detail of what the investment club is all about, what we stand for, and where we see ourselves going together as a community for the next 10 years. The next step is when you are ready to go ahead and join us now and start investing alongside us now after you've done your research. The next step is to go ahead and schedule a call with me. But as Brian says, I only want to talk to people who are serious. And serious basically means you're ready to join us now. You're ready to start investing now, but you just got some questions or got some things that you want to go over before you decide to join us. All right. And like Brian says, I don't bite. I'm actually very friendly. Right, Darren? I'm pretty friendly. So I've had a two pretty cool calls with Darren. So good stuff there. So if you don't see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to go ahead and send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me. Or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we'll definitely make it work. And then the last thing here, I know that Brian does an amazing job of explaining what the investment club is, and you can definitely sense his enthusiasm, but we want you to experience us in real time. So every Monday and Thursday throughout the week, we do have our live investment club calls where we have CEOs coming to pitch their companies to us. You'll see Brian doing the Shark Tank style questions, and then you'll see our amazing community, well over 150 members from all over the world, really our extended family. We should probably stop calling them members because they're actually family, but you got to be professional, right? So anyway, you'll get to see how our amazing group gets together, different walks of life, different income levels, different, economic backgrounds, and really just different perspectives when it comes to investing in these deals. And so it really grounds home that we are not alone in the process, which is a great thing to have. So that very last link is for you to go ahead and join us live. So once again, guys, really just consider where you're at and really just consider that money allows you to have choices. So every investment that you make is really just planting a seed for a better future for yourselves and for your loved ones to come. So we hope to see you on the inside soon, and back to you, Brian.
All right, great insights. Give it up for Martini, everybody. And she's the one to book a call with. Elsa, I just gave you that link so you can book a call with her. I definitely think she's going to book a call with you, Martini, and a few other people here as well. And so that's the next step. Definitely have a conversation with her. She's spoken to so many people about this with their different situations. And look, the members of our club come from all over the world. Some of them have never graduated high school. Some of them have PhDs. Some of them have a lot of money. Some of them have very little money. It's just a crazy diverse group of so many different people, and they're all making a lot of money. So, it's not like there's a certain type of person, and we don't really require a type of person. We just want someone that believes in what we believe in and want to change the world the way we want to change the world. So that's it. Just want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate your attention and your cameras on. It really makes a big difference. And it's always nice to have people here. I love talking about this stuff, as you can tell. And the next few months are going to be absolutely insane. I really think October and November are going to be honestly unbelievable. Now, I don't know if any of you have had these moments, but I had a few moments over the last couple of months. I remember talking about them on these calls, Martini, where I wake up in the morning and I look at the crypto prices and I have to do this. I'm like, I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not right. Because the prices, they're just so far up that it doesn't even make sense. You know, when Bitcoin blasts through and is $10,000 higher one morning to the next, or a token has gone up 100%, it's just like, that can't even be right. And that's why I love crypto, because you have these moments where you have to rub your eyes because you literally don't believe what you can see. That's what we're going to see happening with our investments in the next 6 weeks. And it's going to be a beautiful time and something all of my members deserve. And it's about time. And they're going to just finally, really create that huge amounts of wealth that's going to set them up for as long as they want. So look, I'd love for all of you to be a part of that. Please tell us how we can help you. Crypto and DeFi course starts Monday. That's a no-brainer, honestly. It's just such a no-brainer. Join that. And then the investment club is right on the other side of that. So I want to say thank you to everybody here. All right. Book a call with Martini. Send us a message. And we'll see you on the next live call. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Take care. Bye. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission? Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics. I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways. I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals. Just go in, bam, 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 bam. This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals. Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time. I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business. No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking. If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.